Started out with All's Well That Burns, went into Dormar and all that stuff, and we were actually practicing out of my grandmother's house, and we had the option of either going to a studio and spending a whole lot of money, or I had the idea to just buy the equipment and do it ourselves. And I started making a couple of simple records. Dormar, This Town Was a Train Wreck was all recorded in my bedroom using very basic hardware. Actually did Madison Fade Out, I'm sure you guys remember that. All the old Faster Faster demos and all of that stuff. And I spent a long time, actually. I worked at a gas station for 3 years, stayed at home and did nothing but eat ramen noodles and buy studio equipment. And that's pretty much how this place got built.
Oh God, it all began with that damn ceramic dog over there. When my mother died when I was 16, her best friend, for some reason, left that dog with me, and it always stayed in the room. I always had a music room in my dad's house, which caused me to not to move out until I got married the first time, because I had a music room. But the dog stayed with me, and we always recorded on 4-track stuff there. And I guess in 94, 93, 94, I finally bought a storage building and put it in my backyard because of the fact that there were young bands. At that point in time, there were bands like what were called Third Rail and Blue Condition, these young teenage bands that were writing and doing really good stuff. And couldn't afford to go into a studio, and I had some equipment, so I actually I went out and bought more equipment, put it in my backyard, so I could record them, just to promote the young people to actually write and do things, and that's all the most memorable moments that I have.
So my second year of college up in Savannah, I had started a recording studio in my house where I worked on my own record and my roommate's record for about a whole year. We were up there. It was 1999 to 2000, and I started calling that Rock Studio. I got my website and everything back then. And later that summer of 2000, I came home for the summer, and Crawford over at Ceramic Dog Studios heard the record that I'd recorded all year and worked on, and he was like, we need an extra helper here at my studio, so well, why don't you come over for the summer and just work at my studio, as an assistant, or do your own sessions when I'm not doing something in there. So at that point, I had been kind of doing my own recordings in like a studio kind of setup in my house for the previous year. And then that summer of 2000, started working in the real studio. That was kind of like the setup. Then a year and a half later, when Crawford was going to give up his studio and move away, he offered the infrastructure to me in the building. I could assume the lease, I could take over the clientele, and basically move in and do Rock Studio as a big studio with 2 rooms and everything. So I took over the studio in 2001 around December, and I officially opened my doors in 2002. January 18th.
And I think a lot of kids in this town are sick to death and bored to death of the humdrum life around here. So, of course, you're going to turn to music. That's what I'm much more excited. Yeah. The beauty part about it around here, the bands around here, everybody's pretty much wanting to help you out and support, support each other.
Yeah, everybody loves everybody here. It's cool. There's a lot of talent that the world does not know about.
And very diverse acts, you got bluegrass, you got blues, you got, jam bands, and you got metal
and rock,
rap,
hillbilly,
soul, and modern
country,
music, more modern stuff that a lot of people do, the younger kids do.
That's all cool,
POP stood for Positive Outlook Productions, and it was started, I guess, back in '96 by Mom, Mina Mars.
And a group of adults to help with the first.
I guess the local police officers wanted to know what the kids wanted to do that was positive and would keep them out of trouble. So we had a meeting with them, and then I think we broke off into two separate groups, a music group and a skateboarding group. So one group tried to get skate parks built, while we tried to get music scene going. And we knew there was a lot of bands that wanted a place to play. So then
it was a matter of finding venues. So we worked with the original Brenda, that was at that time working at the old casino, was very open to letting us use the bandstand area of the casino free of charge. Then we graduated into not being able to charge for that kind of a scene, and it being so open to the public was not good with people, just random people coming up and disturbing the kids. Then we went to the garden room of the casino and were able to charge at the door and get set up the equipment in a better way, and the sound was better.
So we could collect a really small door fee and sell drinks and stuff to pay the bands just a little bit of money.
It
wasn't much.
Non-profit, if not
so
costly for some.
We all helped out. We all got together and we did that for 6 years, 6 or 7 years. Kept going as much as we could.
When I was in high school, is kind of what I consider the casino era, because that was where a lot of the shows were happening for local kids. Was at the same time as Island Casino, of course, which is no longer there. But that was a really fun era. Everyone was really young. Just had a really young, kind of good, vibrant energy going on.
We used to actually have put on shows like the Knights of Columbus and Casino, because there's nothing for kids to do in Brunswick,
That's pistol whip, I guess. That's hilarious. Mom was good about getting us